Hello everyone, I'm Constance Ray, and this video is a submission for a discussion assignment which was given through a class that I am taking online that covers the concept of universal design. Now for those of you that are not taking the course who will watch this video in the future, you may be asking, what is universal design? Universal design, simply put, is the concept of designing everything, including buildings, products, and services to fit everyone, no matter their height, physical ability, first language, and a host of other factors. That being said, let us look at the first of the two prompts. The first prompt was to imagine that we had been given an opportunity by Target to pitch a line of trendy, universally designed, and affordable clothing which they could sell parallel to their other clothing options, and to give 4 points that we would use during our pitch. All of my points will relate to my experience as a wheelchair user, and I will explain how they relate to the concept of universal design. My first point has to do with the factor of shirt sleeve width. Personally, I have very broad shoulders and wide arms. This means that I usually have to buy shirts that are 2 to 3 times bigger than I need for the rest of my body size in order to accommodate my arm and shoulder width. This, of course, causes the overall look of the outfit to sometimes be very unflattering. With universal design to fit all shoulder and arm widths, this would no longer be an issue. My second point also has to do with shirt sleeves, but instead of the width, it has to do with the length. In the wintertime, we all have to wear long sleeves, and I have noticed on both me and other people that I see around my city that the length of the long sleeve shirt sleeves comes down 2 to 4 inches past the hand. For me, this can cause them to drag in my wheels if I do not constantly roll them back up. When it comes to the universal design of clothing, 3 to 4 inches can simply be taken off the short length, and you can still enjoy the comfort that comes from wearing long sleeves. The third point has to do with pants, both shorts and long pants. It has to do with specifically elastic waist. Elastic waist is becoming very popular in today's culture. However, it does not seem to be offered among higher-end clothes. What I mean by higher-end clothes is clothes that one would wear to church, high-end functions, or to a daily office job that requires professional type clothing. If elastic waist was offered across the board, this would eliminate the need for buttons and zippers, which can be very difficult to operate. My fourth point has to do with shoes. Of course, everyone has different foot sizes, so this point does not revolve around the size. It, however, does revolve around the concept of laces. For me, laces are very difficult to tie. Sometimes I have to go without them tied unless I can find someone to help. This, of course, can cause very dangerous issues if not addressed. However, with universally designed shoes, the need for laces could be eliminated, and you can still maintain the overall look of the shoe. Now, when it comes to the people from Target, one of their main questions that revolves around all these 4 points may be, well, why buy clothes that look just like our other clothes but have these minor adjustments. And the two big answers are, number one, a larger customer base, which means, point number two, more revenue for the business. And at the same time, they could still keep their other lines of clothing for those that may prefer buttons, zippers, longer sleeves, and different shirt sleeve widths. The second prompt was to come up with a way to introduce a line of trendy and universally designed clothing to a retailer, and to present our strategy through flyer, brochure, proposal outline, social media, etc., or to simply be very detailed in our strategy, and to also try and incorporate the work/influence of Michael Graves, a late, very well-renowned architect, into our strategy. I will simply be as detailed as I possibly can about the strategy I would use. The strategy I would use to introduce a line of this caliber would be to host 2 fashion shows, one privately for the retailer and one for the public. One may ask, why 2 fashion shows? This is absorbently time-consuming and expensive. First, let me say that yes, it is time-consuming, and yes, it is expensive. The expenses can be offset through ticket sales and drink sales and merchandise sales at the fashion show that is hosted for the public. As to the why, it goes into the fact that it would offer a collaboration opportunity between the retailer and the public. How, you may ask? Well, during both fashion shows, we would offer an online survey, one tailored to the retailer for their fashion show, and the other tailored to the public for that fashion show. When they respond to this survey, the responses could then be compared by the retailer so that they know where they stand on their perception of the products and where the public stands on their perception of the products. This would give them an advantage when it comes to selling the clothing, because they will know ahead of time what the general desire of the public is when it comes to that line of clothing products. As for how this relates to Michael Graves, Mr. Graves was all about catering to the customer, not the provider. And I believe that these separate fashion shows and surveys would serve just that purpose. Thank you for your time and attention with this video.